From the Patricia Lindley Studio in the Patricia Lindley Center for the Performing Arts, welcome to another episode of Dialogue with the Dukes. I'm your host, Bill Berger, and today's show is being brought to you by Donnie's Bar and Grill. A reading from the Rural Urban Record dated the 21st of October. It took almost 40 years, but the Wellington Lady Dukes cross country team is once again conference champions, led by Bella Waters, who took 4th place, first team all-conference, and Lauren Van Adder, 5th place, first team all-conference. The Lady Dukes edged out Oberlin for the conference title by just 6 points. The Lady Dukes definitely did work together. Without solid finishes from the entire team, the Dukes may not have scored that win. Taylor Morris finished 13th. She scored second team all-conference, with Jay Davis and Joyce Stallard placing 15th and 21st respectively, both third place all-conference, and Hope Dudziak, who placed 27th, and Madeline Kohler, who placed 44th. Knowing that, here are the stars of the Wellington cross-country team. To my right, Bella Waters, and to my left, Lauren Van Adder. Welcome to both of you. Bella, we're going to start with you.
Okay.
What type of course was the LCA championship held at, and how did you compensate because the weather was terrible that day?
Okay, so Black River's course is basically 2 big loops, and it helped because we had a meet there earlier in the season. That day, it was pretty muddy at the bottom of the hills, and you could see girls sliding and running in like slow motion almost. We all knew that it might be muddy back there, so we all double knotted our shoes, tied them really tight, and we kept our warm-ups on until the very last minute. This season was pretty cold and rainy for most of them, so I think we had been used to that, and we'd practiced in that kind of weather a couple times, so we were prepared for that. And honestly, I think our nerves and we were just ready to run, so I think that we weren't even focusing on the weather.
Well, that brings a perfect transition to you, Lauren. When you're running, what is more important, the mental aspect of it, or focusing, or stamina, or all three, or maybe something else?
All three, really. It's like a balance. That's the hardest part of running, like telling yourself not to give up, making sure that you're not going to give up, like going, continuing, and focusing on the course, like a combination of all three of them.
Well, Bella, you unfortunately had a mid-season injury. You injured your ankle. That kept you out of, obviously, running and training. How did you compensate for that, and how did you prepare to get your ankle back to running shape?
My ankle injury actually happened at the Black Rivers course where we had conference, but it happened before the last 400 meters of the race, and I finished it out, even though I was crying and in pain. But after that happened, I went to the doctor a couple days later. I ice rested, did the rice, but I had a brace on it. I was biking. It was really tough watching my teammates keep practicing, and I felt like I was falling behind. But I kept doing cardio that didn't put pressure on my ankle, and I think that really helped me be able to stay in shape. So that next weekend when I was able to race again, it was a relief. But I don't think my ankle, it still isn't fully healed.
Is that right, really?
I went back into running way too soon, but it was worth it. Yeah.
Well, yeah, absolutely, because you took 4th place. The Lady Dukes did extremely well. Well, Lauren, I want you to shout out to the coaches. Who are the coaches of the cross-country team, and how do they prepare you for each meet?
Well, Coach Hook is the main coach, and then kind of like the assistant is Coach Morris.
Okay.
When I first came to the cross-country team, they were both very welcoming and motivational, and that's like what they push forward like every single day.
Right.
Before the day before the meet, on meet days, like telling you, making sure you're not giving up, like telling you that you're doing a great job at practice.
And especially when the weather is so bad for that championship meet, golly, that must have been extremely hard for the coaches to motivate you, correct?
Because that's such a mental barrier.
Sure.
But they helped us push through. Once again, when we practiced through downpour, they were always there cheering us on, pushing us to our hardest, so we could fulfill the conference champion.
Well, Bella, this is the hardest question, and I often ask this question to seniors. What has participation in Wellington High School athletics done for you that you can use in later life?
I don't think there's one straight answer to that question, but for me, I would say it's being able to push yourself harder than you thought you could. There's always more that you can do, and having a good support system and having good people in your life that will push you to be your best, just like our teammates and our coaches did throughout my whole high school athletic career. You have to find that group of people, and you always have to just push yourself.
And this isn't the end, because you still have track to go. Both of you still have track to go.
Yep.
So this isn't the end of your athletic ability, so to speak. So, well, once again, we'd like to thank both Bella Waters and Lauren Van Adder for coming in and talking about their championship form during the LCA championship that was run a couple of weeks ago at Black River. We'll be back again with Joe Fox after this message.
Are you hungry but don't want to eat fast food or go to an expensive restaurant? Well, maybe Donnie's could be for you. Welcome to Donnie's. Business hours are from 11 to 9 p.m., Tuesday through Thursday. Friday is 11 to 11 p.m., Saturday is 10 to 11 p.m., and Sunday is 10 to 7 p.m. Do you like gambling? Well, Donnie's has Keno and paper crackers. Crack open and win a prize. Safety first. Do you like watching TV while you eat? Me too. Donnie's has multiple TVs with different channels on them. You like football? They have football. You like the news? They have the news. And while you're eating, they have comfortable, relaxing music playing. Donnie's also has merchandise. Are you a stressed out adult over the age of 21? Well, Donnie's has a wide variety of beverages. Donnie's also has takeout. For pre-order, please call 440-828-0888. Look at that nice, juicy burger with those golden, crispy fries and those buttery, juicy wings that'll slap your taste buds.
We are back. We hope that if you get hungry, you visit the Donnie's Sports Bar and Grill. They've got great wings, sandwiches, and burgers. Located at 203 Main Street in downtown Wellington. We have the opportunity now to talk with Joe Fox, and I continue my reading from the Urban Record. The boys' team finished fourth overall in the conference meet, led by Joe Fox, fourth. He was fourth, and he was first team all-conference. Matt Mormon finished 15th and for the team, and he was third team all-conference. The Duke men finished their last regular season race strong. Scotty Hook placed 23rd in his last career regular season race, with Jonah Stump and Ned Gott finishing 35th and 39th respectively. Max Hook and placed 41st in his first conference championship, and Robert Barnes rounded out the top 7 at 43rd. We are fortunate to have with us to my immediate left Joe Fox. You probably remember him from last year. He went all the way to state, and it's going to be going to state again this year. So congratulations, Joe. Your first question, you were a sophomore last year. This year, obviously, a junior. How did your experience as a sophomore prepare you for this year?
I think last year, like going into especially like the districts, regionals, and state aspect of it, I was the first one to do it in 20 years, so I was kind of walking in blind. But now that I did it last year, I'm more prepared for what it's going to be like next Saturday.
Sure, exactly. Now, knowing that, how did you approach this year? What kind of goals did you have?
My number one goal was to not break my bones.
That's a good point.
Yeah. And just being as careful as I can, but still producing better times than last year. So I like anything to improve. Just improvement without injury was our goal.
Now, we already talked about the members on the boys' team. How did those members help you, support you, and how do all the team members support each other?
We're all very supportive of each other, so anyone gets a PR, we're all celebrating with them. And even the runners that don't run in the races because of like injuries and stuff, they still come along and cheer us on and help with like some of the non-racing things, like setting up a tent so we don't get wet, and just like helping coach with times and stuff.
Again, as we talked about with the girls, the weather was absolutely miserable that
It
day
was.
because we had a makeup soccer match, and the rain was coming down here in Wellington, so I know what it was like. Well, we've already had the district meet, we've already had the regional meet. How did you do, and what kind of situation? What was your mindset going into that district and regional meets?
Just I had an idea of if I get out ahead and keep a higher position, I don't have to fight for it later in the race. So instead of like moving up, I could just prevent myself from moving back. And my dad helps with that. He's along the course telling me info about the runners and stuff. And so we came to agreement that if I'm top 10, that I'm safe enough to move
Sure.
on. Because top 16 move on each race. So like top 10, that's safe in the elimination zone.
Well, we already talked about the fact that last year you were a sophomore and you actually got to go to state, as you've already talked about. And I'm going to brag a little bit on Joe. Joe actually finished 45th out of 185 runners across the entire state of Ohio. Being number 45, that may not, that we go, well, 45th. Well, 45th out of 185 is absolutely fantastic. Tell us about your experience last year.
It was pretty, I thought I was dreaming. I wasn't, I was just it was an out-of-body experience.
Was it really?
Being this competitive at this level, it was insane. And, we did the math, and at districts, across all the districts in the state, there was 1,420 runners.
Uh-huh.
And then to narrow it down to 185, and I placed 45th out of that 185 is
As a
pretty
sophomore,
amazing.
that's absolutely fantastic. Well, letting the cat out of the bag, next, I believe it's this Saturday,
Yep.
is the state meet. Can you tell us where it's going to be? Do you know what type of course it's going to be? And how did last year help you for preparing for this year?
It's at Fortress Obetz in Columbus. It starts at 10:45, and last year I didn't know the course that well, and we get a satellite image of it with
Okay.
the course traced out on it, but that doesn't really help because there's a hill in it about
Okay.
2 miles in that I didn't know about, and I saw that and my heart just about dropped. And so knowing that this year, it'll help with the strategy into going into the race. And I don't know, the entire last few years I've been there, just running there, it's been wet, so I'm hoping it's not wet. Although I guess there's a chance of snow.
Oh, chance of snow.
Yeah, which would be
Goodness.
a first for me.
Yeah, exactly. Just out of mere curiosity, do you wear a different type of shoe, whether it's muddy, good heavens, snow, or sunshine, or is it basically the same type of shoe?
I do wear spikes, which are shoes with spikes in it. I change length depending on the race.
Oh, okay.
I usually stay with the default spikes, but if there's a large chance of just mud puddles, I'll put in longer ones. But usually it's just the same shoe.
Well, I'm really hoping it's not snowing for you. that would be a wrench in the ringer, so to speak, wouldn't it? Yeah, absolutely. Well, once again, we'd like to thank Joe Fox along with Lauren Van Adder and Bella Waters for coming in and talking to us about the Wellington High School cross country team. And we'll be back again very soon with another episode of Dialogue with the Dukes.